Was this your first caucus?
It was, actually.
Tell me about your experience.
It was interesting. It's good to meet fellow Democrats in our area and get a free-flowing exchange of ideas. That's something that you don't get in a ballot box. The top 1% has their heel on our throats and are slowly killing our country. We need to educate our populace. We have to educate our populace. Because guess what? China does it. And we owe China how much? And if you think for 1 second that if we don't do this, if we don't prioritize free education, that we are going to turn into a third world country. When you look at the statistical numbers, we are very much in a gilded age. 1% of the population owns 99% of the wealth. And what that's doing is it's preventing a flow of economic power and money through our system, which is having disastrous effects.
In general, older people tend to be more for Hillary. Younger people, I'd say you're probably in the middle of that for Bernie. Do you think there's a little bit of, when you get older, maybe you lose some of your idealism from some of these people who spoke here?
Absolutely. And the numbers do show that. It's 35 or older are definitely going to Hillary. 35 and under are going to Bernie. And I think it is. The system's been jaded and fixed for so long. So when somebody comes out and says, we can do the change, positive change we need, it's the whole, yeah, right. We've heard that before. Contrary to what the press says is it's anger that's propelling Bernie, it's quite the opposite. It's hope. It's hope that we can do better. And not for ourselves, because what he's proposing would take a decade, maybe even 2 decades to fully implement. This is something that I probably wouldn't see in my lifetime. I'm 36. So I probably wouldn't see the full impact of these changes, but I'm doing it for the generations.
Do you think there's a disconnect with him and African-American community?
I think there is. I was actually watching the polls come in because it is Super Tuesday. And in Georgia and Virginia, we are seeing a lot of that. For whatever reason, Bernie didn't start campaigning in the African-American community early enough, but he does have a strong record. He's marched with Dr. King. He's been arrested in a civil rights march. So I think that is the disconnect. He didn't get out in front of it early enough. Same thing with the LGBT community. He didn't get out. We had Pride in June, and he had no support. No supporters out there. His campaign was well underway, and I think that is his downfall, is that he could have been present in the LGBT community, the African American community, and made his presence and records known. And like I said, if anything does cost him the election, that will be it. Donald Trump, 76% of the crap that spews out of that man's mouth is a lie, according to Politico. There was a cousin of Anne Frank who was recently quoted as saying, "This feels like Nazi Germany all over again. We have to come together. I love Bernie with all my heart. We need reforms. But at the end of the day, we have to come together as a party. Unity as a party to defeat the greater evil."
If Hillary gets in, do you trust that she would stick with these liberal positions that she took in the general?
I'm not certain, truthfully. And the reason I say this is she does flip-flop a lot. And Bernie Sanders has slowly but gradually been pushing her left. And I think that's why her current stances are where they are. Keystone's a prime example.